position as Will Power runs fourth.
And we saw where Castroneves, who's sitting right behind him, was hounding him. He's right there. And you got all the Penske cars right in a row there. Power in 4, Elio in 5th, and Briscoe in 6th. Hello. Taking a look back at Briscoe.
There is Briscoe in 6th, and Simona, who Jan talked about in our grid rundown, is looking good, Jan, in 7th spot.
But so is Marco Andretti right behind her. He had a very good warm-up. Didn't have a great weekend up until that point, but they've obviously got the car much more to his liking by the time of the morning warm-up.
Scott Dixon.
And I talked to Dixon before this. I said, you know, what do you got to do to win this race again? He's like, well, the key for us and our team is green stops. If we have yellow stops, that doesn't help me. I need green stops because he's so good on that in-lap and out-lap.
How about a shout-out to this rookie on the IZOD IndyCar Series this year, Bertrand Baguette from Belgium. He's in the top 10, running in 10th position.
Again, as I said earlier, the black and white results doesn't do it justice of what that Conquest Racing has done with Bertrand. It really doesn't.
Started 15th, working his way through. He's one of the few at the moment on the alternates. Lots of people taking this middle stint to run on the blacks.
Behind him is Dan Weldon, the National Guard car.
Combination of 4, 5, and 6. You go over that little hill there, you get light, and from this point on, as you come through that 4, 5, and 6, you don't breathe again until you get back on the front straightaway. That's how much you're working at this. And Rafa right there, just going through that light right-hander, turn 9, Thunder Alley up along there, talking with Rafa, the driver's meeting, says, how are things going? He says, I don't know what I got going on. Oh, man.
Here's Graham Rahal running in 14th position. This is the second Newman Haas entry.
We know Graham has the speed. Obviously, they had that issue where they didn't qualify well. Now he's just kind of got to do something to get him out of sequence and get track position, you know?
Alex Lloyd drives the number 19 car for Dale Coyne, celebrating 100 years of Boy Scouting this year.
Hideki Muto, who now is behind his teammate Ray Hall, and coming up from behind, not only is there mirror, but Ryan Hunter-Reay. We've certainly documented him trying to force his way back into competition, but you know, when you change those steering arms, oftentimes you can't get the car exactly the way it was before.
But still, the fact that he didn't lose a lap and they got that done, hey, that's a great shout out to your guys in the pit lane and getting that done for you.
Behind him, his teammate Danica Patrick runs in 20th position. There are 22 cars on the lead lap.
Very difficult to pass at this circuit. We've talked about that. But to get a pass done, you got to be close enough to the competition in front of you, and then that guy needs to make a little bit of a mistake or a little bit of a hiccup for you to get by. It really is that difficult. But you got to be hounding him and try and force him in to making that mistake.
Francesco Draconi driving the number 34 car for Conquest Racing in his first start in the IZOD IndyCar Series. He's an Italian from the northern part of Italy, has run Formula 3000 and Formula 3, and hoping to make a mark here in the United States. Tony Kanaan runs second here at Mid-Ohio. Alex Tagliani is the leader of this race with Franchitti, Power, and Castroneves in the top 5. Robbie, okay. Alex Tagliani continues to lead here at Mid-Ohio. You saw on Note Non-Stop that Tony Kanaan, second place, came in for the pit stop. And Robbie, it was a quick one.
8 seconds for Tony Kanaan. They're disappointed, though, at Team Kanaan because they didn't want to see those yellows. They were hoping they could have stretched it earlier and everybody'd have to have, more stops. But as Jan and Jack have been going back and forth, everybody can make it in just one more stop. So they were disappointed with the yellows, but going out there and charging hard nonetheless. Brand new set of red tires, no changes otherwise.
He comes out just ahead of Francesco Dracconi in 21st position. And we have reached the halfway point of the race. Teammates Will Power and Castro Neves battle for third, and Ryan Briscoe is in the 5th position.
Yeah, they've gapped back from Elio back to Briscoe. It's about 2 seconds. Really hear the elevation change. When I say by that, you see the elevation change, but you can hear it, I should say, as you hear the extra wheel spin. It just kind of gets light going across that combination.
Speaking of elevation change, we'll go to a track in 2 weeks. It has a huge elevation change at Infineon Raceway, Sonoma, California. That 2 weeks from today.
And very similar circuits from the standpoint that you got these combination corners and momentum and flow. And if you get behind in one, you never get caught up. You got to stay ahead of it.
And that will conclude the road course schedule for 2010. Then we wrap it up with 4 ovals: Chicagoland, Kentucky, Motegi in Japan, and the finale at Homestead Miami Speedway. By the way, they are still working on the 2011 IZOD IndyCar schedule. It is expected to be released soon, and when it is, we will have it for you here on Versus. Rankiti about 1.5 seconds behind the leader, Tagliani.
At this point right now, just kind of the mindsets of Tags, Dario. I mean, they all have some good gaps between them. They're not forcing anybody's hand. They're just kind of clicking off some laps, not making mistakes, maybe saving a little bit of fuel just so they can go as far as possible. But, they're just kind of going in the train as long as they're not getting hung up.
And guys, for Dario Franchitti right now, it's what he's really confused. He's in a conundrum. He knows that if he has any chance of winning the overall championship, he has got to gain some points on Will Power. Well, he's doing so right now, but what he likes to do is he likes to lead laps in hopes that maybe he can gain the bonus point for that. But right now, what he needs to do is conserve fuel, so he can't chase Alex Tagliani down. What about your leader? Let's check in with Lindy.
I have Rob Edwards, a strategist for Tags. First of all, how long are you going to try and stay out here with him?
We're looking to go to lap 55, 56, enough to make sure that we can get to the end still running flat out.
What made you take that gamble at the beginning?
We just had a feeling.
Yeah, your team was joking. We could feel that caution coming. And what's he saying? How's the car feel?
He's actually very happy. I mean, when you're out front, everything feels great, right? But he's running the quickest laps he's run all race, and he's feeling good. We're just trying to stay doing what we're doing now.
Rob, thank you.
No problem.
Bob?
And it's worth pointing out that he is not Lindy, as Rob just confirmed, and as certainly Jack pointed out, he is not off of sequence, because that 2 laps that he pitted earlier, because of the caution periods, he now is going to only have to stop the same number of times as the cars behind him. But when he said lap 55 or 56, he will have to stop most likely a lap or 2 sooner than Dario and the people behind, and that's that old cold tire penalty we talked about that may play in the favor of those behind him.
I have the man in charge of Target, Chip Ganassi. Chip Ganassi here, and you're talking to Dario or talking to your crew here. How comfortable is he in second spot right now?
Well, he wants to win, but first and foremost, we got to gain points on Will Power. He's behind us right now. We want to make sure we keep him there.
How good is the car? Have you made any changes as you went along?
No, we haven't made a change to the car. We came in, put tires on it, put fuel in it, sent him away. And but it's still a long race. Anything can happen.
All right. Tell me about the day you've been having this weekend you've been having pretty good for Target, Chip Ganassi.
We've been having a pretty good weekend. We won the Daytona prototype race in Watkins Glen last night. And just a few moments ago, we won the Cup race, the Nextel Cup race. with Montoya, so we're pretty excited.
And that's Target's first ever victory in NASCAR. Got to be a pretty special day after a pretty special a couple of weeks ago as well.
Certainly a special day.
Well, it looks like Target Jake Ganassi's been on a roll, guys. Can they do it today? Daryl Franchitti told me this car only gets better as they get more grip out there on the track, so things are looking good for them today.
Well, they are having a good couple of weeks. Of course, Jamie McMurray won the Brickyard 400 a few weeks ago. Wow.